Torigani Katun was held captive by Chinggis Khan, forced to marry one of his sons, and had to save herself from assassins when his husband died. She had to use all her wit, might, and courage to hold together the Mongol Empire while she waits for her son to be ready to take over. And when he finally did, he killed her. Torigani Katun was not Mongol by birth. She was from the Naiman tribe, a rival of Chinggis Khan. After the Mongols defeated the Naimans, she was taken as a captive and forcibly married to Ogaday Khan, Chinggis Khan's third son and successor. She started her life in the Mongol court as a prisoner turned consort. But when she produced a son, Guyuk, things changed for her. She became one of Ogadai's primary wives. But then there's tragedy before power. In 1241, her husband, the Ogaday Khan, died suddenly, possibly from alcohol poisoning. His death created a power vacuum. As his designated successor, Guyuk Khan, her son, was not ready to rule. Torigane stepped in as a regent, effectively becoming the most powerful person in the Mongol Empire from 1242 to 1246. She is the only woman in Mongol history to have ruled the empire as its de facto leader. It wasn't easy, though. Ogadai's court was filled with trusted ministers and advisors, many of whom did not support Guyuk. Normally, the Mongol Empire would have held an immediate Kuriltai or tribal assembly to elect a new great Khan. Torigane delayed this process, allowing herself to rule as regent. The Mongol court was dominated by Ogadai's male relatives, who did not want a woman in power. She then purged many of Ogadai's trusted officials, replacing them with her own allies. She struggled against rival Mongol factions, particularly those loyal to descendants of Chinggis Khan's other son, Chagatai, Jochi, and Tolyu. She formed alliances with key Mongol nobles. She built alliances with the Chagatai Kanate, or descendants of Chinggis Khan's second son, Chagatai, which helped strengthen Guyuk's position. She negotiated with powerful families to gain their backing for Guyuk over their potential claimants. She managed to delay the appointment of a new emperor by 4 years, effectively making Guyuk the unofficial successor. In 1246, Torigane finally called a Kuriltai, but she strategically held it in Mongolia rather than in the empire's western territories. This location favored her allies and reduced the influence of rival factions, especially those from the Golden Horde or Jochi's descendants. With many of her supporters in attendance, Guyuk was elected Great Khan, solidifying her efforts. But then her son turned against her. Torigane worked hard to secure the throne for her son, Guyuk Khan. However, after he was crowned Great Khan in 1246, he turned against her and removed all her allies from power. One of the most dramatic cases was Fatima, Torigane's closest female advisor, who was accused of witchcraft and treason. Fatima was brutally tortured and executed, reportedly by being sewn into a sack and thrown into a river. Torigane pleaded for her life, but Guyuk ignored her entirely. Guyuk reversed many of her policies, including reinstating officials she had dismissed. While Mongol queens often retained some influence after their sons took power, Torigane was completely stripped of authority. But why? Torigane orchestrated the removal and likely execution of key Mongol officials, including Ogadai's trusted chancellor, Mahmud Yalavach. Some believe that he may have viewed his mother's regency as a personal betrayal of his claim to the throne. However, some suggest it's deeper than that. Before Torigane became regent, Guyuk had already been at odds with his father, Ogaday Khan. Ogaday sent Guyuk into a long military campaign in Eastern Europe 1236 until 1241 as punishment for his rebellious behavior. Torrigane did little to help her son gain favor with his father, and some sources suggest she did not fully support him at first. By the time she finally secured the throne for Guyuk, he had likely built up years of resentment towards her. She died mysteriously. Torrigane died soon after Guyuk took power. Some sources speculate that she was poisoned or executed on her son's orders. Even if she died naturally, her political downfall and betrayal by her son make her story tragic. She ruled the Mongol Empire for nearly 5 years, something no other woman in Mongol history has done. Yet her legacy was erased after her death, and she was vilified by later Mongol leaders. Her own son repaid her sacrifices by casting her aside, showing the brutal reality of Mongol court policies.
All right. A little heavy. I tried my very best to make it as light as possible, but I also, more importantly, I hope that you learned something from it. If you have any questions, let me know. Any clarifications, of if you want, or if you want to contribute something, leave them in the comment section below. Also, please like the video, subscribe, and hit that notification button, and share the video if you can. It's really helping my channel. Thank you so much. Please follow me on X or on Twitter, on Instagram, and also on my Patreon. There is a free tier just in case you want to try things out first. See you there.